According to a recent survey by the National Independent Venue Association, 90% of owners, promoters, and bookers say they'll have to close permanently within the next few months if they don't get federal aid.
My name is Kevin Kelly, and I am a rare book dealer, now a record seller. I moved here in New Paltz in 2011, so and you know that rediscovering music was, you know, saved me from, you know, kind of a crisis of trying to live in this countryside, you know, but I quickly met other musicians who I still know today. This was a candle shop, and the landlord mentioned that it was becoming available. My idea came right back to me that I could do this in there. We launched, you know, we were shut down until June when we were able to reopen, but, you know, it was obviously not good to have a lot of people in for music. So we were doing music outside for a while and that kind of thing. The capacity is there in terms of the musicians around here. They go from people whose names anyone would know if I mentioned it, to people who are in the college music program who are, you know, talented in a variety of ways, and then some of them are, you know, really incredible.
Was it all for me? Or was it all for you? To lay awake at night, tortured by the feeling of your skin. My name is Jake Levine. I've been playing music since I was like a little boy. My earliest memory of music is playing drums with my father. He's one of the people who have pushed me to try new ideas and be in like different projects, and I've been in multiple projects with him. I've played with him all over the place. Just a single grain of sand on your beach of mistakes. Oh. Whoa, oh, yeah. I am in the process of creating an EP, and it finished recording, and now I just leave it to my producer who's going to finish up the mixing and mastering. The pandemic has affected my production of music very positively. Gave me a lot of time to invest in my musical endeavors, and I got to go to the studio more often, create more music, have time to do it, work to make more money so I could be in the studio more often. So overall, pretty positive.
My name is Daniel Walker, and I am a music teacher. First getting into music actually started with the family. My dad actually bought a guitar on the same day that I was born, and I have a picture of that day coming home and him playing the guitar on my first day home. Music is a huge part of our family. I totally wanted to make that a part of my life, and the best way to do that is be a music teacher, but be able to play on the side as well.
Steven Kissinger. I work for a cable company as a software engineer. I've always loved it. I've always listened to all kinds of music, blues, jazz. Got my first guitar when I was probably 10. Life happened. Had family and all that, and it went to the wayside. Once the pandemic came, I was like home alone, and I got back into music.
Some of the challenges that I had teaching music during the pandemic on a computer is that you don't have that face-to-face connection. you have this lag time. Having a group of students that are 50 and playing all at the same time is impossible. So I had to get very creative in how my assignments would work, how my private lessons would work, and I was lucky enough that any gig performances that I had didn't have to do with online whatsoever.
Dan had been hitting me up a couple times to play in the band, and I was kind of hesitant because I've been out of it for so long. But after the pandemic came, I started practicing more, and then he kept hitting me up, and he kind of wore me down a little bit, and I was like, okay, I want to do this, because it ignited something in me that I hadn't felt since I was in a band in high school.
If you let it die, it's going to die. So keep going and keep playing and promote music, because with the pandemic, a lot of different factors were in play with jobs and life and new norms and things like that. So for me, you keep playing so that it doesn't die.
Why am I refuse a social status is a gift to all the cool girls who are skinnier and prettier. We're all the same except in the way I like the looks. My name is Alix O'Connor and I am a high school student. I first got into music just by listening to it. It was always on in my house, and specifically like movie musicals. I would watch a ton of Disney, tons of princesses. I became really obsessed with music and singing and performing, and so I got into musical theater, and from there my love of singing and music just, exploded. Standards, but I'm calling out their bluffs, 'cause they're not any better. High school stuff, it's survival of the fittest, and people like me were lucky to make it out.
My name is Brian O'Connor, and I'm a 5th grade teacher. I first got into music just by growing up in the house that I did. It always seemed to be on in the background, and sometimes it was definitely brought more into the forefront. My dad and all my uncles have played the guitar for as long as I can remember.
My dad used to do a talent show at his school. He still does, COVID allowing, and he used to perform. And so one year he just asked, he was like, do you want to perform? Do your sister want to perform? And we said yes, and I loved it. I loved every second on stage, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Once Alix was old enough, she was running around the house singing her lungs out all the time, for goodness sake. So I said, why don't you come up on stage with Dad this year? You and your sister should come up. And so we picked a song together and practice. And it was a pretty cool moment.
It was over quarantine where I started getting some solo gigs, and he was like, if you ever need help with, a backup guitar, I could totally help you out. So I took his offer. The cool kids are the ones on the dance floor at the party. I am the one who's not invited to the party. They don't have to worry.
During COVID, music and singing, especially with my dad, was like one of the major things that got me through the quarantine.
It was definitely a highlight for us to, when we finally logged off of the last Zoom call or the last freaking Google Classroom, to come downstairs and just start learning as many new songs as we could.
From there, we were able to practice a lot, and then we were able to start getting gigs. And now, with all that practice, we have 3 hours worth of material that we can play anywhere and everywhere. And so it's been really awesome. It's definitely helped us in our performing as well. There's always a time and a place for music. Like, if you're happy, you can sing at the top of your lungs to really happy music. If you're angry, you can scream song lyrics. If you're sad, you can listen to like any Taylor Swift song or any Billie Eilish song. I love, like, anytime I need anything, I go to music. It's like my therapy almost.
The return to a little bit more of a normal feel, particularly in some indoor places. It's been great to kind of have that same sense where people are just out there for the same reason, and that community and that special bond that happens when there is live music as part of people's afternoon or evening.
The potential, the capacity for the Hudson Valley to become a place that is thought of as, one one of those mythic places. I mean, I see musicians playing here that should earn some exposure on a national or worldwide basis.
I see the music scene in the Hudson Valley absolutely exploding within the next 5 to 10 years. The reason being is because so many people have given so much support during the pandemic to go see live music. Everybody's so cooped up, and they want to be out, they want to be social, and so one of the best ways to be social and have a good time is to go out and see live music.
See your anxiety watches over me when you lie.
When you go out, right, and you go dancing, okay, you just feel the beat, right, you know? And I think a lot of people intrinsically just, like, feel stuff. And I try to capture that a lot in my own music. People can remember what I'm saying, and people can, like, remember, like, what's going on, and they want to listen to it again, and they want to groove to it, because for some reason it speaks to them. I mean, I don't know, but, yeah, I mean, I just love getting lost in it. I mean, and I constantly find myself getting lost in new stuff, and I don't know how that's possible, but I'm assuming that it'll keep on happening over and over and over and over again.
I just hope to be able to be out, play some music. I'd like to see a lot more bands playing a lot more smaller venues, you know, more intimate settings.
Music in this area, and hopefully everywhere, for the people that are out there looking for it again, is just to be a great return to people getting together and enjoying something that I think has always been meant to bring people together.
I think that venues are going to open up little porches and decks. You know, there's some examples that are in Montgomery that you've never seen music before, but now they do have a little place where you can perform. So I think that while I was fearful that it might be something that might die, I was proven wrong by our community that we're going to grow.
I belong